When you've got a large Christmas tree and you only want to use the top part of it, but the base is too big for the tree to stand in, here's a nice easy way to make a base. So I'm just taking a 2-litre soft drink bottle, and I'm going to be cutting it just at the bottom ridge there, and then I'm going to be cutting all the way up to that centre ridge by cutting little strips. When you cut in the bottle, try and keep the cap on so it makes it easier for you to stab through the bottle. And on this particular bottle, it's got another ridge just over there, and all I'm going to be doing is cutting along to that ridge and trying to get it as even as I can by going down to the bottom and lining it up so that I can get it divided nicely. And the same on this side. So I'm just folding the bottle like that so I can get where it folds, and then I'm cutting up to that ridge. And then just do it on all of them all the way around so that you've got small pieces. So we've got this next one. And then once again, take that small piece, mark it, and cut it so that all your pieces are round about the same size. So they're about 2 centimetres wide. And then just cut all the way around the whole bottle. Once you've cut all the way around the bottle, now all you have to do is, on that ridge, just fold your bottle so that all your pieces are going upright. And then just fold all your pieces so they're lying flat. Once you've folded all your pieces out, take a piece of cardboard and then just trace around the edge of the bottle, and then we're going to cut that out. I've got my piece out so it's the same size as my bottle, and now I'm just going to paint that white. While I'm waiting for my piece to dry, I'm just going to be making a few little decorations to put inside my little dome. So I've got these small polystyrene craft balls, and I'm going to be taking 2 of those, and I've also got some spare polystyrene which I'm just going to be cutting into small little squares of about 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre, and then cutting this in half because this is a 2 centimetre one, so I want just little 1 centimetre pieces. And with the polystyrene ball on the top and the bottom, I've just sanded it so that it's a bit square so that it can stand without rolling over. And I've done the same with the other one, but I've just made it a little bit smaller so that it can make a little snowman. I've done those little pieces, and here are my little gifts that I'm going to be wrapping. And to make my little Christmas trees, I've got some of the green tinsel, and I've just cut them small and shaped them a wee bit, and taken some PVA glue and dipped it into bicarbonate of soda, so I've got little trees like that. And then I've also taken some twigs and just dipped them into polystyrene with some PVA glue on it. And I'm going to be using these to make a little display inside the little dome that we just cut out for the base of the Christmas tree. To make a nice snowman's hat, I've just got a piece of black card, and I've just taken the head and placing it down there so that I can get an idea of how big to cut the circle, and then I'm just going to cut a circle around. So I'm just holding the head and cutting around. So I've got the one piece, and for the base of it I'm taking the bigger one and doing exactly the same. That's just to give me my size, and then I'll straighten them up. For the center part of the hat, I've taken a strip of black card again, which is 1 centimeter wide, and all I'm going to do is just roll it. I've taken about 18 centimeters of card, just rolling it like that and then releasing it so that I can get the size of the top of my hat, and then I'm going to glue that down. And now I'm going to glue this little piece to the bottom one. I'm going to be using some of the ribbon that you get in the packages for the Christmas ribbon, and I'm just taking a small piece, and because this is quite thick ribbon, I'm actually going to be splitting it to give me a nice thin piece. To split the ribbon, all I'm doing is cutting it down the center and then holding it in both hands and pulling it quite fast so that it splits quite nicely, so I get a nice thin piece. I've made it quite long so that it's easier for me to work with, and now I'm just going to put a blob of glue on there and stick it on my little hat. I've just taken a tiny little bead and stuck it on the hat as well, just to make it look a little bit more attractive. I've taken a toothpick and just dipped it into orange paint, which I'm going to be using for its nose. I'm just using a ballpoint pen to draw the eyes on and just to put a little smiley face. And now we can glue it all together. I've just stabbed a toothpick through it so that I can work on it, and now I'm going to glue that little hat on. I've just got a little twig that I took from the garden, and all I'm going to be doing is breaking it so that it can fit my little snowman. So getting a little arm like that, which will just poke through there. I've got a piece of velvet ribbon which I'm going to be using, so I'm just going to cut that off here, and then hopefully I'll get a little piece of string that I can pull to make it free. There you go. So I'm just going to pull a wee bit of that off so you can get a little frayed edge. So I'm doing that on both sides. And now I'm just going to glue this scarf on. There's my little snowman. I'm gluing all my little pieces onto a piece of polystyrene. And now I'm going to glue it to the piece of cardboard. When you glue it, make sure that your decorations are not too tall so that when the Christmas tree goes in the center here, it doesn't interfere with your little decorations. So I'm just gluing that one on so long. And before it sets quick, I'm just checking to see that I've got it in the middle. So we're all good. I've always got a lot of spare polystyrene because I work with it quite a lot, And now I'm going to take some of this and some PVA glue, and I'm just going to circle that so that it's completely closed. So when this is on top, all that is also covered with snow. And now I'll wait for all of that to dry. I'm going to be cutting off this black tab that goes with the cap, and then I'm just going to put some glue in here and then add some polystyrene in there just to create a little bit of snow. I've just taken some glue and poured it in there, and now I'm going to just swivel it around to get a bit of a pattern. I've got my glue poured in like that, and now I'm just going to be adding some of my polystyrene shavings. I've just dropped the shavings in there, and I'm just going to give it a bit of a shake and then take them all out. If you're working with a high temperature glue gun like I am, you have to be very, very careful with the plastic. So to glue the plastic down, it's preferable for you to glue onto the cardboard first and then let it cool a little bit before you place the plastic on. Otherwise, these little pieces will shrivel and melt. So now we're just going to glue that down. I've glued everything together, and now just to give it a bit of weight to be able to hold the Christmas tree up, I've got some ivory cement and mixed it into quite a thick consistency so that I can just paste it onto my little piece. I've put all the cement on, and as you can see, I've made it so that it's got a few little peaks on it, and I'm going to wait for that to dry, and then maybe put in the polystyrene over that as well. My cement is all dry, and now I'm just going to take a paintbrush and I'm going to paint some PVA glue on top of that and then sprinkle the shaved polystyrene onto that. I've taken some tin foil or aluminium foil, and I've just bent the edges over like that, and then I'm going to glue those together and squash them down. And I've got 3 pieces that I'm gluing together like that, so I can go around the base here. I've done the same by taking a little piece of aluminium foil, which is 7 centimeters long, and I've got a little piece of blue ribbon which I'm just going to wrap around there to make like a candy cane. I've placed all my little fairy lights inside my little container, and then I've just gone all the way around the outside of it as well. And now I'm going to be placing some of these wee decorations that I've made, and I'm taking some silver glitter and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on there and then seal it all in with hairspray. I'm just placing one of the big ones on the top. When you place your tree on the inside little opening there, make sure that your tree is quite snugly fitting, otherwise it might fall over. So that's my little tree stand holder. already. I put the lights on. It makes rather a nice skirt for a Christmas tree. Now that I've got a little stand for my Christmas tree, I can start decorating it. So it's a very, very small piece because it's just the top of my large one. That's the little Christmas tree base.